A quick introduction to Scrum Framework. Scrum is an agile framework for managing complex projects. Many think that Scrum can be used for only simple projects. That is not true. Scrum can be used for managing very complex projects. It originated in the software development industry, maybe almost 25, 30 years back, but has since been applied to various domains such as product development, marketing, artificial intelligence, and education. Scrum emphasizes iterative and incremental development. So, like every other iterative model, the central theme of Scrum is the iteration. So, in Scrum framework, the iteration is known as the sprint. And at the end of the sprint, a product increment is produced. And it emphasizes collaboration and flexibility in responding to change. It is a very simple framework, and there are only three actors in it. The roles are the first role is the product owner. Product owner represents the stakeholders and defines the features and prioritizes the product. So product owner is the interface between the development team and other stakeholders. So the product owner maintains the product backlog, which contains the features to be developed. Then we have Scrum Master, facilitates the Scrum processes, removes impediments, and coaches the team. So he has to train the team. He has to ensure that the project is happening according to Scrum. And as and when the team faces problems or impediments, he has to remove them and he coaches them on how to work well within the Scrum framework. Then we have the development team. It is a self-organizing, cross-functional group responsible for delivering increments of the product. Self-organizing. That means the team will decide how they are going to build or how they are going to execute the sprint. And it's a cross-functional group. It may have different people with different skill sets. Maybe it may have an architect, it may have programmers, it may have testers, but everybody is known as a development team member. So these are the basic three roles within Scrum: product owner, Scrum Master, development team. The product owner is the custodian of the features to be developed. Scrum Master ensures that the project follows Scrum, and the development team is a self-organizing team whose primary job is to convert the requirements into the deliverable. Then the Scrum framework has a few artifacts like a product backlog. It is a list of features to be developed. That is the product backlog. Prioritized list of all desired work on the project. Then sprint backlog, subset of the items from the product backlog selected for a specific sprint. Then increment, a potentially shippable product functionality created during the sprint. So at the end of the sprint, the product increment happens. Then the Scrum framework has a few events like the sprint planning meeting, collaborative meeting where the team plans the work to be done in the upcoming sprint, and a daily stand-up meeting or the daily Scrum or the daily team meeting. Short daily meeting for the team to synchronize activities and plan the day's work. Then sprint review, meeting at the end of the sprint to review and demonstrate the increment to the stakeholders. Then sprint retrospective. So after the sprint review, the team gets into a sprint retrospective, a meeting at the end of the sprint for the team to reflect on their processes and identify improvements. So once again, let us take a look at the Scrum framework. So here we have the product backlog owned by the product owner, and we get into a sprint planning meeting, which is attended by the entire Scrum team, including the product owner and the Scrum Master. And at the end of the sprint planning meeting, we get a sprint backlog. That is a committed features that they will develop during the sprint. And during the sprint, they have a daily Scrum or the daily team meeting. And then at the end of the sprint, the product increment is produced. And then we have a sprint review. The product increment gets reviewed. And after that, the team gets into a sprint retrospective to literally analyze what all things they did right and what all things can be done better. And with that learning, they get into the next sprint planning meeting. And this cycle gets repeated till the entire functionality of the product gets converted into a working product. So that explains the Scrum framework, the quick introduction to the Scrum framework.